In cinematography, there is a strict rule about shooting in pitch black. If an image is underexposed, the camera produces visual noise, and when the human eye looks into that grainy, confusing darkness, the brain panics. It invents shapes and details to fill the void. Look at the topographical layout of the global ocean. Down in the depths where sunlight cannot penetrate, more than 80% of our planet's underwater environment remains completely unmapped, unobserved, and entirely devoid of light. Just as a camera introduces noise in low light, humanity's lack of hard oceanic data creates an informational vacuum. Without facts to anchor us, we project our own supernatural fears and myths into the abyss. The world's most famous maritime disappearances and deep water anomalies are usually not the result of the paranormal. They are simply symptoms of an underexposed environment, warped by our own desperate need for answers. This map outlining the geographical boundary between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico is the ultimate example of human projection filling an informational void. When ships and planes vanished in these waters over the decades, the absence of wreckage allowed imaginations to run wild. Pilots reported bizarre elliptical clouds, dubbed electronic fog, leading to widespread claims that the region hides active time vortexes and spatial tears. Others point to the nearby South Atlantic anomaly, a real phenomenon where the Earth's magnetic field dips in strength. In the absence of a conventional explanation, theorists claim extraterrestrials exploit this magnetic weakness to cloak their ships and abduct passing vessels. And when compasses malfunction or radars glitch, some blame the latent crystal energy radiating from the sunken ruins of Atlantis or the submerged walls of the ancient city of Dwarka. But a cinematographer knows exactly how to fix a noisy, confusing image. You stop adding artificial haze to the scene. You drop the camera's ISO, and you bring in heavy equipment to manually light the darkness. To understand regions like the Bermuda Triangle, we have to stop looking at surface-level mythology. We need to physically dive down into the crushing reality of the deep. The surface of the ocean acts as a blank canvas for ghost stories, but the physical environment inside deep-sea trenches is far more violent and bizarre than any fiction. Here, massive slabs of the Earth's crust are actively destroying each other. The Pacific tectonic plate, a dense layer of rock 170 million years old, is being continuously forced downward beneath lighter continental plates, sinking directly into the planet's magma. At this friction point where the sinking crust melts, the geological engine creates immense trenches and towering underwater volcanoes that spew pure liquid carbon dioxide. Descend 11,000 meters into these chasms, and the pressure becomes completely unimaginable. It reaches roughly 1,000 times that of the surface. It is a physical force capable of instantly crushing standard engineering into scrap metal. These high-pressure geological recycling zones are the actual alien portals of our planet. Surviving this environment requires a highly specialized technological toolkit. Researchers deploy autonomous underwater vehicles, tethered remote-operated vehicles, and titanium-hulled human-occupied vehicles to withstand the descent. Down here, there is zero ambient sunlight. These submersibles act as literal light sources, carrying heavy illumination grids thousands of meters into the pitch black. A modern rule of cinematic lighting is that subjects should emerge naturally from their environment, rather than relying on harsh artificial edge lights to force separation. The biological life down here follows that exact rule. They are the actors of the abyss, seamlessly adapted to the dark, occasionally stepping out of the background and into a submersible's tea light. Take the giant oarfish. With its metallic ribbon of a body, it looks like a doomsday omen when it washes onto a beach. Or the goblin shark. It boasts a protruding jaw structure and jagged teeth that look entirely nightmarish. But in its native habitat, these are simply highly specialized evolutionary tools required to hunt in near-total darkness. These animals only appear monstrous to us because they have been violently removed from their natural, high-pressure lighting environments and dragged into ours. The most critical rule of lighting a dark space is this: you must expose your camera sensor for the background first, long before you ever place your subject into the frame. Humanity's view of the ocean has historically failed this rule. We obsess entirely over the foreground. the thin, sunlit surface layer where our ships sail and our human history takes place. Because we ignore the vast underlying background, any time a vessel vanishes or a compass fails at the surface, we invent aliens and time portals to explain the noise. The actual reality of the Hadal Zone background is far richer. Down in the extreme depths, massive single-celled xenophyophores the size of footballs thrive in the silt, while thick mats of chemosynthetic microbes swarm across jagged rocks, feeding on the chemical energy of the Earth itself. True scientific discovery does not come from projecting our paranormal fantasies into the shadows. It comes from building the courage and the heavy-duty lighting required to illuminate the alien realities that already exist right here on Earth.